Welcome everyone to the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Preston.
Preston, welcome to the show.
I know, it's been a while.
We'll have to bring you in more often then, I suppose.
Yeah.
Preston, at Peak, we believe by providing education and guidance, we can help inspire our clients to make great financial decisions so they can retire with peak confidence. And today, we're going to talk about what kind of financial decisions you are making, right? Kind of kicking the tires, looking under the hood of your own personal financial plan.
Yeah. I think, transparency is very important, especially in what we do. All of our clients, they come to us and trust us and are very vulnerable with us about what is going on in their lives and where they are. And, we should kind of give some of that back. So one thing I'm actually going to be doing this year is kicking off a new blog where specifically I'll be posting once a week, but they're kind of retroactive monthly updates on where I was when I first graduated college, how my net worth changed over time, what things I did in each month, and really just kind of be an open book for everyone about this is my life, this is where I am.
So that is really an open book and putting yourself out there. How do you feel about that?
A little nervous, but I think people will appreciate it. And, it's really something I've thought about since college, taking my financial planning classes. Is financials is such a taboo topic for everyone. You keep it within your family and you don't tell anyone outside of your family, if you even share it with your family, so, and I don't think it should be that way. Not that you should go telling everyone your entire situation.
Should I walk around with my net worth tattooed to my forehead or what?
Yeah, I don't think you should do that. But, if someone asks you a question, I don't think it should be like, oh, that was too personal.
Well, last week, Jim and I sat here and went through our personal financial plans, and we talked about this and that, but we didn't talk about specific dollar amounts for the most part.
Yeah.
Should we?
I think you should, but I'm not going to tell you you have to.
Jim. Okay, well, we'll make sure we do that next year, okay? All right, so in terms of your 2025 financial plan, where would you like to begin?
Well, first, I'd actually like to begin reviewing 2024.
Okay.
Whenever you're setting forward-looking goals, I think it's also important. Let's look back. What were the goals I set last year when Jim and I sat down about a year ago, and did I accomplish them? Did I do the things that I said I was going to do?
So how did you do?
Pretty good. Not perfect.
Okay. Well, where's one thing that you're really proud of what you did, and what's one thing where you failed?
So one place that I failed, I'll start off with, was last year I said by the end of 2024, I'll have my whole life, financial life, completely systematic. Everything will be set up systematic. I won't be pushing any buttons to change anything anymore. And I did fail there. I'm still working on it, but...
So you're kind of inspired by that Automatic Millionaire book.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's an admirable goal, but it doesn't mean that you didn't reach, the levels that you were looking for.
Right.
It just is the way that you're managing it day to day. You can keep working on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so hard on myself.
No. Okay. But, some of the other goals that I touched on in 2024 was I'm going to continue contributing to the Roth 401k. And then the pre-tax contribution that the company gives every year, I'm going to convert that into Roth. I did that in 2024. My wife continued contributing to her 403b through the school system. I said I was going to max out my HSA. Well, it's not really my HSA, it's my wife's because it's her.
We say ours.
Yeah,
ours.
It's our HSA. Did max that out in 2024. I said that I was going to continue saving into a brokerage account. And I did accomplish that goal, but then I also took a withdrawal from that account because we bought a new house in 2024.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So I actually don't think I mentioned the new house goal on the 24 version of this podcast, but it was something we were thinking about. Our old house was half of a duplex, and it was a really small space, and we knew it was something we needed to move out of eventually, and we were able to find a place we really liked.
Great. Okay. So anything else in 24 that you want to go over?
One thing I'll say is, we preach and practice what we preach, that, you know, life happens and you need to be prepared with an emergency fund. So some negative things that happened to me in 2024, you know, I bought the house, which was great, bought furniture to fully furnish the house because we were living in 400 square feet before, so we had like a couch and an old bed. So had to buy some furniture for the new house. But then literally the day after I got the keys for the new house, my car broke down, unusable, had to get a new car. And then a month after that, our dog had an emergency vet visit, which was expensive. And so having that emergency fund in place really kind of saved our butts there.
But it's crushing your net worth, I can tell.
It did take a hit.
Okay, so some unexpected expenses with the vet bills and such. What else in 24, or are you ready to focus on the goals for 25?
Yeah, ready to focus on 25.
All right, so let's kind of go through this hit list here, okay? So one of the topics is debt. What is your strategy with debt? I know that you have a rental house, a duplex rental house, and your primary residence. So how are you treating those two homes?
Yeah, so for both of them, paying a little bit extra each month, you know, a couple $100 to get the payoff down from 30-year to more like 20-year.
Okay.
So that's really the strategy with those.
And if you keep these properties, then they'll be paid off by the time you're like 45.
Right.
That's pretty good.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm 45 right now.
Yeah.
So it comes quick, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. And then one thing I'll actually say is kind of when I was thinking about what are the 2025 goals, what's the plan? One thing I noticed looking retroactively is every year my wife and I had something that we were hyper focused on, and maybe we didn't know it at the time, but like all of our intentions were going towards that. 2023 was we bought a duplex and then paid for a wedding. 2024 was we bought the new house. 2025 is the hyper focus is going to be paying off my wife's car loan. So taking care of that debt obligation.
Okay. So every last dollar kind of a thing?
Right.
Okay. So you kind of get to the first of the month and you see where the bank balance is and what's extra, and you send it.
Exactly right.
Okay. I like it. Now, why did you pick that as the 25 target?
So when it comes to repaying debt, something I think about is the debt avalanche method, which is pay the highest interest rate first and sort of knock down whatever that debt is. And so our highest interest rate debt is my wife's car. So that was kind of easy pickings. Plus, it's something we can get it paid off in 2025 if we focus. So why not go ahead and do it?
So you have her car loan, and you said you have a new car?
I do.
So does they have a car loan as well?
It does.
But that's a better deal.
It's a better interest rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So talking about debt there, and no kids, right?
No
so
kids.
Are you thinking about college for kids, or is that just, too far away?
It crosses my mind every now and then. And one thing I'll say is I actually heard on another podcast, someone who has many rental properties said, my plan for paying for college is the rental property. When my kids are 18, the rental is going to be paid off, and that cash flow, that pays for their college, which,
The cash flow pays for the college, or selling the house pays for the college?
the cash flow.
Nice.
So, the 529 has its tax advantages, but that's something that kind of resonates with me is, hey, this duplex that we've got, let's get it paid off by the time our kids are 18, which, we've got more than 18 years to do that.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get it down.
Okay. I like that. So you keep your options open, right? How about 401?
401 continuing to contribute to Roth, same thing I've been doing, and then every year going to convert the pre-tax to also be Roth.
Okay.
So every year I kind of start fresh with all my money's Roth.
Okay. And how about your wife?
She's contributing to her 403.
Okay.
She's
That's
also
probably pre-tax though, right?
it is pre-tax. So yeah, rather than increasing her 403, we would put money into the HSA and the Roth IRA.
And you're going to max the HSA again this year?
We are, and I do turn 26 this year, which means that I now have to go on my own insurance plan, not be on my parents. So, so now I am part of the HSA plan, and we can put even more into it.
Okay. How about any new rentals for this year?
It's not in the cards for 2025. I don't think, I won't close the door on it, but the plan, looking back to last year, the plan was we were going to buy our single family home in 2025, and we accelerated that, did it in 2024. So it's not really top of mind for 2025.
You got to digest these things.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, how about after-tax investment account?
I don't think we're going to do much into that this year, honestly. And the reason is because the hyper focus is going to be paying off the car loan.
Okay.
But I think after tax is a fantastic option. It gives you so many possibilities into the future, so much flexibility.
And as a young whippersnapper, how do you think about risk?
I am very aggressive with risk.
Okay. So 100% equity, I guess.
Absolutely.
Now, as a no longer newlywed, but still young married couple without children yet, I guess you could say, how do you feel about life insurance for yourself?
I think it's important, because we don't have kids yet, maybe the need isn't as high. But still, if something were to happen to me or my wife, we have a duplex mortgage, which should be paid by the rent, right? But we have a brand new house, brand new mortgage, and that would be tough for either of us probably if the other one something were to happen. So I think it's important. And so, yeah, we have plenty of life insurance coverage.
Okay, so you've purchased life insurance, I assume term?
Term, yeah, 20-year term. Keep the costs low. We're both young, so the costs are low for the 20-year term.
I already know a lot of these answers, but I have to pretend like I don't. So I'm saying, I assume that you have a term policy?
Yeah.
Okay. And we talked, when Jim and I did this last week, we talked about emergency funds and cash and everything. So how do you handle your banking and stuff like that? And please, as a young married couple, elaborate on how you operate logistically with his and hers.
Yeah, so there's no his and hers. It's this is our household bank account. This is our household income.
That's the way to do it.
These are our household expenses. Yeah. We actually, honestly, combined expenses even before we got married.
Risky.
Yeah. We'd been together for like 8 years at that point, so it was pretty much locked down. But, yeah, so everything's ours. It all pulls into the same checking account, all comes out of the same checking account. All the accounts are joint,
What about checking, savings, money market, bank, credit union, Schwab? How does that work?
Yeah, so all of the monies at the credit union, it just resonates me. I think you're actually the one who told me this, that credit union money stays local, bank money goes back to New York, and it really resonates with me that I want the money to stay local and help out local people who, need a loan or need a CD or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's not that Bank of America doesn't loan to people in our community. It's just that this is not their only community.
Right.
Right? And, local credit unions, they might have just a few locations in our town, and that's it.
Right.
So the money stays here.
Yeah.
Your demand deposits are then loaned out to your checking account as a demand deposit, and the credit union uses that money and loans it to me or to Jim, and the money stays here, and I like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, all the money's at a credit union, and we're honestly rebuilding the emergency fund now because of what I touched on happened at the end of 2024. But the idea would be keep 1 month's expenses in the local bank so I can go in and grab it if needed. And then anything beyond that would be a money market, making sure it's earning, 4%.
Great. Are there any topics that we didn't touch on?
The one thing actually that I did want to talk about is the student loan repayment program that I've got going on. So I did do that in 2024. 2025 is actually the last year it's allowed. It was
so tell me what it means. What is they're allowing what?
Yeah, so back when COVID first hit and Congress was passing all these bills, one part of the bill said an employer can withhold up to, I think the maximum is like $5,200 from an employee's pay throughout the year. And then the employer can then write a check for that money and send it right to the employee's student loan. And then that way the employee gets the benefit of my student loans being paid down and they don't have to pay income tax on that money because it's going right to the student loan company. It never hits their bank account. So in that bill that they passed during COVID, they said 2025 is the last year we're going to allow it, but I've taken advantage of it each year.
Great. And so for those of us who are eager to see what you're going to be putting out each week, one more time, what is this new blog theme that you're starting?
The theme is just, it's, well, in the beginning it's Preston Gee, but eventually it'll be the Gee family financial journey, and just talk about where we have been.
The Gee family financial journey. Rolls right off my tongue.
But yeah, the idea is, again, just be very open and transparent about where we have been, what we've done, where we are now.
Okay. So every week you're going to be publishing a blog right now that shows the historical stuff to catch us up to where we are now over about 4 or 5 years. So a bunch of weekly posts. And then when we catch up, then it's going to be each month you're going to make a post to show where you are in real time and real-time decisions.
Exactly right. So yeah, once we catch up to present day, it's going to be the first day of the month. I do my expense and net worth tracking, and I write my blog, and off it goes into the public eye.
That's great. I can't wait. So be on the lookout for that. And Preston, thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing with all of our fans here everything that you're doing to get ahead in life, financially speaking. Okay. Well, if you'd like to learn more about Preston, reach out to him at peakwm.com, and you can schedule online at Preston's page. Thank you so much for watching.